Welcome to the Marshall Pruett podcast, presented to you by Cooper Tires and the Justice Brothers. We have part 2 of our Road to Indy Champion feature. This time it's Indy Pro 2000, the ultra-dominant Kyle Kirkwood, hailing from Florida, just like Oliver Askew, our new Indy Lights champion. Both guys actually from the very same city, which we'll get into here with Kyle, talking about their rivalry coming up. Nonetheless, Kyle, the Italian RP Motorsport team, making big waves on the road to Indy in the Indy Pro 2000 category, formerly known as Pro Mazda. Fantastic to catch up with Kyle. Pretty amazing year for him. Actually, a fairly amazing 2 years for him, which is where we start in the conversation. Big things ahead for young Mr. Kirkwood. Also fantastic to know. We look at our Indy Lights champ, look at our Indy Pro 2000 champ, these two being teammates in Jeremy Shaw's Team USA Scholarship Program. Fair to say that Jeremy, who I have referred to as the patron saint of American Junior Open Wheel Racing for many, many years, he can pick them. He can certainly pick them. Look at how well his boys here from the class a few years ago have done and what they're heading on to. So spent about a little over 10 minutes here with Kyle, get to know him a little bit more, had him on our Week in IndyCar show, and I can tell you for sure he is going to be making a lot more appearances as he works his way up into Indy Lights with a full scholarship there. Sure seems like this kid is destined for IndyCar in the very near future. So enjoy our conversation with your new Indy Pro 2000 champion, Kyle Kirkwood, brought to you here on the Marshall Pruett podcast by Cooper Tires and the Justice Brothers. Kyle Kirkwood, you got a big old grin on your face, and I know why. It's because you, actually, I'm surprised you're not asleep. You have spent an entire season kicking ass. You must be tired and worn out. Your legs, giving up on you. Tell us about winning this championship, Indy Pro 2000 champion. We're going to get to this back-to-back thing you did, which is crazy too, but let's start with celebrating. Holy crap. You weren't kind to anyone this year. You didn't want to let anybody have the trophies.
That's something that we kind of had to do. After our deficit around Road America, we knew, we got to get some wins. We got to get ahead because Juncos was so strong. They got podiums almost every single race. And, today we had a race that we ended up crashing out, but it doesn't take away anything from the excitement that my team had and I had from the championship. I got out of the car and I was still smiling because I knew we won the championship if we just made that green flag lap. So it's been an incredible season. Everything has worked out perfectly there towards the end. We had a couple mishaps. I think 2 of the 3 crashes we've had this year were with teammates, unfortunately. But some things, that's how it goes. And Juncos kept us very honest. And I had to push for it this year. Last year was a little bit of a different situation. We were able to get out front early, just take almost all the wins. This year it was tougher, definitely tougher, but we prevailed at Portland, regained the championship lead, and we had enough after the first race this weekend at Laguna to kind of claim it.
So let's talk a little bit about last year as well, because you, among the 3 Road to Indy champions this year, have a unique aspect that stands out in that you didn't just win the USF 2000 title. You did the thing that honestly you dream of, and that is make almost everybody else you competed against invisible. Like, that's a rarity. So I know you didn't win all the races this year. You won more than half, though. So you're slipping a little bit. You peaked maybe too early. You're falling off already, Kyle. Good Lord, you only won a little over half. Tell us about this, what I'm assuming might be a bit of a fantasy 2018 through 2019, where you're making it really easy for team owners wondering, who should I be looking at this level, that level? I mean, the spotlight's been on you based on your effort and talent.
Yeah, there's a lot more people approaching me, a lot of people that know my name now, and it's all due to the Road to Indy and the success that I've had with Cape Motorsports and RP Motorsports this year. And I think it says a lot that as a team, it's not only myself, but we were able to take a 2-year operation from RP Motorsports and create a winning car that, since Road America, we've won every race except for the 2 that we crashed out in. And the 2 that we crashed out in, I started on pole in one of them, and the other one we started second, which was here today.
That's where I wanted to move next on your team, the RP outfit. So on the road to Indy, you get one of 2 things for the most part. Super veterans, you already mentioned Cape. They've been around forever. Then you get an RP, which 2 years ago would have been a very unfamiliar name. Where are they? Where are they from? Tell us about this achievement as well, Kyle, because I believe this not only is a fantastic result for you that's going to bump you up to Indy Lights, scholarship, amazing. I think this also is going to have if RP wasn't already getting phone calls this year, I think they're going to be attracting a lot more folks to go, hey, I don't care how new of a team you are, that we want that.
That's for sure. And the team's ecstatic, and they're all Italian there. Some of them don't speak any English, but they are the most diligent and most passionate people I've ever worked with ever in my life in racing. And I've been in racing for 16 years, including karting. So it's incredible what those guys do, and they work so hard for this, and it's proving, it's showing now with how hard they've worked. So it's crazy what they've done this year. It's from where they were at last year. They progressed all the way through the season. They actually didn't even run the last round because they weren't in the championship contention. But this year they put their heads down. We got a really good race car, and we've won so many races. And a lot of it's due to the car, and the team's done a really good job setting it up like that.
Let's talk about the rivals you've gone up against this year. Rasmus Lind, for example, young, but we can see there's going to be another Swede on a trajectory towards big things here. Daniel Frost done well. I mean, obviously Parker Thompson opened the season in great style for the newish Able team. Values of wins are always couched against the quality of competition. Speak about the quality of competition you've had.
It's really tough going up against drivers like Stingray Robb and Parker Thompson, who have had a year in this car, has driven most of the tracks, especially Gateway. That was a tough one for me going into it, with their experience level going into it. The talent's amazing. Stingray Rasmus, he was strong all last year, but he had a lot of unfortunate events. But he challenged me the entire year. Fortunately, we stayed out in front of him, but he did challenge me. Yeah. And this year, you got to remember, he's still pretty young. I believe he's 17, almost 18, and he's coming on now, and he's matured a lot this year from what I've seen. And I'm sure it's going to be somebody I'm battling against for the rest of the season, or rest of my career, actually. But no, like I said, Parker, he's an amazing talent. He's someone who I respect very highly, somebody I've raced against in karting since 2010, 2011. Yeah. So he's been around forever. So the talent, even though it's only a 14, 15 car field, the talent's amazing.
Doesn't matter the size of the field. It's ultimately how many badasses you have to fight through at the front. Let's wind down a little bit, Kyle, talking about apparently a town in Florida that produces Road to Indy champions, because we've got triple American Road to Indy champs with Braden Eves, yourself, Oliver Askew. I first met you as part of Jeremy Shaw's Team USA program, you and good old Stretch himself, Mr. Askew. So although you guys are, we'll say, a year apart, at least on Road to Indy graduation, tell me about the pride of Jupiter, Florida, this karting scene that's produced so much talent between you and Oliver. I'm sure you're proud to see him win the Lights title, knowing he's going to be getting into IndyCar here. something in the water there? What's going on?
It's actually funny. I'll start from the top about Oliver and I's story. We grew up karting together, and it's all due to when I got into karting, my parents got me into it. Nobody in my family's background is racing, nor is Oliver's. And I got a kart just to have fun with. And Oliver also got one about 30 days later because they were looking into it, and a mutual friend of ours' birthday was going on, and I showed up in my racing suit. I don't remember it because I was 4 years old, but right. I was so prideful because of that racing suit.
At 4, okay.
I was so prideful with that racing suit as a young karting driver. I thought it was so cool. And Oliver asked his friends, "Oh, what is he wearing?" "Oh, it's a karting suit." And they've already been interested in karting. So about 30 days after I started, Oliver started. And I can't count how many races there was where it was just us two racing against each other, and we were neck and neck always. And there was a time moved up to the ladder in karting and ended up together with this team out of Ocala, Florida, Ocala Grand Prix, who they developed many good drivers, including Oliver, myself, a driver, Nick Neri, Bobby Wilson was with them. There's tons of drivers that have come through their program at there in Ocala, and from there we've kind of always been together, and it's mostly been circumstantial. Team USA, Jeremy just happened to pick both of us. I'm not even sure if he knew that we were always together until then. So it's crazy the way it's worked out, and like I said, we've grown up together, and to be where we're at now is really incredible. It's a really good feeling, and we're really close friends. But on the same token, I think if we were competing against each other, which there was a time where we did compete against each other,
and there will be again.
We almost ripped each other's heads off in karting. When he was with Burrell Art and I was with Tony Kart with Ocala Grand Prix the year after he left Ocala Grand Prix, we were fighting for the championship. I barely came on top of him, but if we were here in the road to Indy racing against each other, there was a chance at one point that we were. It would have been an amazing battle to see, no doubt about that. So in a sense, it's really good that he's ahead of me one step, because it makes us both look good. We don't have to kill each other out there trying to get the winnings.
We're a year or two away from this resuming neck and neck. I look forward to that. Well, let's close, Kyle, on next steps. So obviously we're just celebrating an achievement this weekend. What will the coming days, weeks, months be like for you as you take this advancement prize and try and find what's best for you in Indy Lights?
At the moment, we're all just soaking it in. But there is, since Portland, there's been something in my mind that's been telling me, "Oh, what are we going to do next year?" And the honest answer is I'm still unsure. That's to be decided. We have Chris Griffith's test, Memorial Test, coming up in just about a month, maybe just under a month. So I have to make a decision before then. And the Road to Indy pays for that as being one of the top 3 drivers to go to that Chris Griffith's test, I think, at least for one day. So I'm sure a decision will be made before then. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't know if you got nicknames, but Kick Ass, Kyle Kirkwood sounds like a good one to me. Congratulations on your success this year, which piggybacks off of the holy crap standard-setting achievements of last year. And I'm telling you, man, if 2018 and 2019 are anything to go off of, I'm feeling sorry for some Indy Lights drivers next year. Congratulations.
I hope you're correct. Thank you so much.